Hey, my babies. I just wanted to deliver you guys this Saturn retrograde video real quick. I've talked to you guys a lot about Saturn and Aquarius, but of course, I felt like it would be fitting just to kind of go over, um, just to kind of go over, um, Saturn and Aquarius in general. I'm sorry, I don't know why my mind just drew a blank. So essentially, Saturn in Aquarius forces us to change the rules we have for our minds, and the society around us will also change. And so we are noticing that there's been a lot of political changes, a lot of overhaul as it relates to the way that we look and exist within society, and that will continue as we continue to move through this Saturn in Aquarius period. Um, we need to get comfortable with surrender, taking risk, and making strategic advances towards our goals. And the key word is strategic, structured, and disciplined, because this is still Saturnian energy. We have a little bit more freedom and leeway when it comes to being paired with Aquarius, but it still has its parameters that it can work with. And you also need to remember Aquarius is a fixed sign, okay? Um, when you're open to the abundance around you, it's going to find you easily. So the more that you think about what you don't want, what you can't stand, what you don't like, the more and more you're going to manifest that. And that's with any time, not just with Saturn being in Aquarius, but specifically with Saturn in Aquarius. If you refuse to be the change that you want to see in the world around you, you're just going to get more and more bullshit. So it's up to you to be the change that you want to see. It's up to you to surrender. It's up to you to shift your perspective. It's up to you to change your mindset. Okay. Um, that's all I really want to say as far as speaking about the transit in general. The fact that it's in retrograde, you guys know that that kind of means that it is sort of moving backwards. Um, it's sort of moving backwards, and it's causing us to reflect. And so I'm about to tell you guys how these how this transit is going to affect you based on your rising sign. You can also apply this to your Saturn um, sign and look and see what house you have Saturn in your birth chart, and kind of take some information from that as well if you want to dig a little bit deeper. So let's just go ahead and get into it. For Aquarians, you guys need to be patient, limit your self criticism, resist pessimism, and lean into responsibility, maturity, and discipline. It is important for you to on focus now on slimming down. If you have picked up extra weight, like literally weight on your body, it'll be easier now as your discipline and your accountability will be heightened. And spirit will kind of force you to do it anyway under this retrograde season if you've been resisting it. Leo, it is time to step up to the plate and do what you need to do in order to make relationships work or let them go altogether. If you've been struggling with accountability, lashing out, you will likely be isolated for improvement. Your question for this transit while it's in retrograde is, who are you in relationships and how can you love more freely? Okay. For Capricorn risings, if you have not been wisely handling your finances, you will feel it more now than ever. Now is definitely the time to get back on track financially when it comes to how you now is the time to get back on track when it comes to how you spend your physical and material assets and energies. Learn from your past mistakes and make long-term plans towards improvement. Don't just let it creep up on you and just be in a world of bullshit when it's completely preventable. Get in front of it before you're behind it. I always tell y'all that. Cancer risings, it's time to amp up your self-sufficiency, take accountability, and prove to yourself that you can do things on your own. Um, Focus on what's important to you without giving into codependency solely for the purpose of security. That's going to be a huge theme as we move through this retrograde for Cancers. For Sagittarius rising, You will learn the hard way to choose your words wisely and balance intellectual strength with practical knowledge and action. Your lesson here is to handle your knowledge and communications with others ethically and responsibly. Okay. Gemini, you are being challenged to share what you know and will likely be pushed to go back to school, go deeper into your studies, or apply your knowledge in ways that you have not. You are being challenged to stretch your limits and move with confidence um, as it relates to your philosophy, your ideas, and your traditions. Scorpio, are you really are you really at home in your heart, and have you truly built a solid and secure foundation? Now is the time when those things are going to be amplified if you have not been at home in your heart, or if you are not on a solid foundation. So you want to hone in on that and redirect those energies so that you can feel settled, stable, and secure, which obviously we can all be more productive from that space. Taurus, where are you going professionally? What kind of legacy would you like to leave behind? And what have you done thus far to contribute to those energies? Now is the time to make small term goals and take step-by-step action to embrace change. Okay, that is going to be coming up heavily. You may have issues and setbacks as it relates to your career or your public authority in general, and you need to be prepared to deal with those things. Probably if they've been coming up, you've been needing to leave that job or after that promotion or ask that raise or clarify your duties, and you just haven't. So this is going to force you to do it. Libra, you guys are you need to prove that you're ready and willing to persevere through obstacles that come up as it relates to your vision. Um, and obstacles that may limit your expression or creativity. Be open to new things despite the unfamiliarity is the main message here. Libras risings, some of you may have been struggling with your creativity and not doing anything about it, and now you're going to be forced to do that. Your creativity, your sensuality, and just change in general. Okay. Aries, Saturn will reward you for working hard, showing gratitude, and being a team player. Selfishness, laziness, lack of initiative, and uninvolvement will bring negative karma that affects your friendships and your work life. So you need to be mindful of that. Virgo, you may find that health issues, lack of workflow, and confidence begin to plague you, but stay focused and committed. With sacrifice definitely comes reward. Also feel like you guys need to focus on your physical fitness as well. If you have been ignoring something that's been going on with your body, it is going to be amplified during this time, especially if it's something like headaches or joint issues. um, and then Pisces, you need to understand that you have limits. Be more practical and consistent in standing on and setting boundaries and taking care of yourself, or Saturn will force you to do so. Okay. So, in a nutshell, that is Saturn in Aquarius. That is how this Saturn Aquarius retrograde is going to affect your sign. And then we're going to do a little Saturn retrograde tarot spread real quick. And I'm going to end this. By the way, y'all, I was going to make a whole video about this week in astrology, but it's already Wednesday and it's not too much going on, but I will touch on a few things that I wanted to mention for you guys. So this is week 25 of 52, so that means we're about halfway through the year. You need to expect that though change and transition may be uncomfortable, they usually bring optimistic rewards. So if you let your mind be bright and inquisitive, take deep inventory and purge, you'll be in a better position to be successful. You also need to be willing to let go of people, places, and things that are no longer serving you. Because if you guys think about it, 25 equals 7, and I always tell y'all, 7 is the number of divine assessment and completion. And assessment and analysis come with cutting shit off. That's a part of purging, and letting things go. Be open to listening as well, and use your words wisely. That's going to be very important. I will tell you guys, we have just moved into Cancer season, but I'm going to be making a whole Cancer season video, so you don't have to worry about that. We had our last quarter moon on the 20th. Our new moon is on the 28th. I'm going to make a whole video about that. And then Venus did move to Gemini this week, which I'll talk about when I make the Love, Sex, Pain and Venus report. But I just wanted to go over those quick things for y'all because those were the most important things kind of going on as far as this week. But I just don't feel the need to make a whole video because the week is almost over. And yeah. All right, let's get into this Saturn retrograde spread. So what do you need to accept responsibility for? What mental habits do you need to reflect on? What form of structure do you need to embrace? What aspect of your shadow self is yearning for acceptance? How has your lack of discipline or will hindered you? What can you do to change this pattern? And then additional oracle guidance from Saturn. So let's get all our cards out and we'll get into this reading. All right, you guys. So we've got all of our cards now out. Let's go ahead and get into it. So first question we have, what do you need to accept responsibility for? You have the star coming in reverse and you have vulnerability. Accept responsibility for not sharing your own light, for not believing in yourself, for not trusting in your spirit guides, for not trusting in God, for not trusting in your ancestors to light up your path and show you the way. Accept responsibility for not allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to be open to certain opportunities. You missed some opportunities because you didn't want to be vulnerable and ask for what you need. You didn't want to be vulnerable and put yourself out there. And it's nobody's fault but yourself. So you need to accept responsibility for that. What mental habits do you need to reflect on? Well, you need to reflect on your confidence, your pride, your judgment. You need to reflect on your ambition and your drive. You need to create a little bit more balance and get out of your head and into your body. Take a little bit more action, okay? You need to, as far as a mental habit, it's overthinking, it's overanalyzation, it's overly committing yourself. It's being overly prideful, being hyper independent, okay? That's what it is. A lack of mental balance overall because you're doing too much and putting too much on your head. Not even on yourself, because you're not even doing it all. You're putting too much on your head. So you need to reflect on that. What form of structure do you need to embrace? You need to embrace structure when it comes to your knowledge, when it comes to your discipline, when it comes to your willpower and the way in which you apply your values and beliefs. You need to embrace more commitment, okay? When you say that you're going to do something and you say that you're going to bring something into fruition, instead of giving up when things get hard, when things get busy, when obstacles start presenting themselves, keep going, okay? Keep going. You need to be greedy when it comes to going after what you want. There is no limit. Stop limiting yourself, okay? That's the structure that you need to embrace. What aspect of your shadow self is yearning for acceptance? Your dreams. Hold on, y'all. Let me let this play. Your dreams, your ambition, your actual true self. You're so paranoid that people are not going to like you, or they don't want to hear what you have to say, or they're going to do you wrong, or you're going to be rushing in too fast and they're not going to believe in you. And you just suppress, and you put yourself in this box, and you can't really grow from that box. So as far as an aspect of your shadow self, like I said, it's your fire, it's your ambition. It goes back to what I originally started saying when I said you're dimming your light. You're not allowing yourself to fully be seen because you won't even ignite your fire fully within you. So how you gonna show it then to somebody else? And your shadow self is saying, accept me, show me off, let me do my thing. And you're like, no, I'm not ready yet. Get it together. How has your lack of discipline or will hindered you? Your lack of discipline or will has definitely caused some pain. It's caused pain as it relates to your finances. It has destabilized you and caused you not to be able to take action. It has caused emotional pain because you let yourself down and you put yourself into some situations that you really didn't need to be in. All because you didn't want to take the action and do what you needed to do. Unless it was a situation where you felt like you was going to get instant gratification, and then even that blew up in your face. So that's how it has hindered you. What can you do to change this pattern? Move with wisdom, move with grace. Understand and accept the fact that you are responsible for what you choose to do. You can only control yourself. So with that being said, when you know better, you do better. Stop making excuses not to do better. Integrate the things that you guys have learned from me, from your other spiritual teachers, from your therapists, from life in general, and apply that knowledge as wisdom. Don't just have it in your head like, I know. Y'all love saying that, y'all reading. I know. Well, if you know, then why you not doing it? If you know, then why you not doing it? And another thing, you've got this eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth come out as far as what can you do. Stop letting people play with you. Stop letting people disrespect you. Stop letting people waste your time, waste your energy. When people have you fucked up, you don't have to go as low as they want to go or do it all this vengeful ass shit, necessarily take an eye for an eye depending on what they did. But what you can do is shut their ass down and cut them off. You can set better boundaries and move accordingly, and you should. Period. Okay, we had our same postcard from Spirit that came out yesterday. I feel like when I did that solstice reading come out again, and it says, Dear you, there are times in life when taking a risk is better left for another day. Other times are perfect for taking that leap, no matter how dangerous it may seem. Well, hold on to your parachute strings. Today is leap time. Realize that no matter what, we will not let you fall, drown, get lost, or hurt yourself in any way on this one. Even if it may feel like you are in free fall, we are here for you and you can stop freaking out about getting hurt and relax into this transition to something new. All the elements are in place, and your soul is ready for a new experience. No matter what you're asking about, it's time to take the risk and do that thing that scares you. No matter what happens, you will land softly, right on target. Don't worry about the outcome. Spirit's got that covered. It's taking the leap itself that's the point. We love your courage. Embrace it. So I told y'all at the beginning of this video that Saturn and Aquarius energy forces you to be the change that you want to see in the world. And that does require some level of risk. It does require you to think outside of your box. And it does require you to move with trust and surrender. And I need y'all to do that confidently. I promise you, you will be rewarded every single time. It may not be a reward of instant gratification because Saturn does not work like that. But it will reward you big time in the long run. I promise you. Okay? So just lean into it. That's it. That's all. I'm going to leave you all with that. And I will see you lovelies probably tomorrow when I record Cancer season.